What's up, everybody? It's your girl Ashley G, and this is another episode of I Finally Made It. Yes, here we are.
Back again.
Yes, and I'm here with my co-hosts. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? As always, it's me, Mac Diesel. Ready to get in there, ready to get in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah. How was your weekend? Valentine's Day, and Super Bowl.
It was cool. Spent a lot of time by myself.
By yourself.
Yeah. It's just
It was one of them.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not bad to be alone, but I still have that companionship with somebody. It's just not fully blossom just yet.
Got you.
It's in the works. We're still building the foundation.
Still building.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're in those beginning stages, still kind of talking and getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Still being cute and.
I mean, we started out knowing each other very well
at
the beginning, but it just it's still a process. It's a process when you get to know somebody fully, just to understand somebody fully as well. So it's in the works, but it'll be there eventually.
Nah, I got you. I understand. And what about Super Bowl? Did you win a lot of money, lose some, or no? You don't gamble. No, you're not taking my money. You're not taking my money.
Absolutely not. I'll watch it all day. But gambling, that's out the window, right?
A lot of people talked about that Super Bowl halftime show. What did you feel about it? Did you watch it? Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah.
Me personally, I thought it was great. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I will say I think Kendrick should have had more time, but I'm just a fan. Me too. Because I was like, are you just gonna do that little bitty? Yeah, no, I think he should have did way more than what he did. But I overall, I think it was a great show. I think Snoop Dogg did his thing. Dr. Dre, who else? Eminem.
Yeah, a lot of people went crazy about the Eminem thing.
But I guess that's a lot of the stuff that he's putting out is just like, huh? But then when you see him on stage, it's just like, okay, that's the real Eminem,
right?
The real Slim
Shady.
Yeah.
Right. I understand what you're saying. And Mary was up there and 50 Cent. And
it was just like, it took me back to when I was younger, like 2004, 5, when I was just getting into music, or like, TV. Everything that's out now, like it was just like, I remember when I was this age and I was watching this on the videos, and it's weird now. And then now that I'm older, it's just like, oh yeah, that used to be the song right there. So I feel like I'm old now, but I'm not really old, but it brought me back to my roots.
No, I'm right there with you. Because I didn't actually watch the Super Bowl or the halftime show in real time. Yeah, I was at dinner with my girlfriend.
Gotcha.
We actually had a really nice dinner at Brennan's, but that's a different story. But I went back and watched the halftime show because why not?
Yeah,
got to see what the hype is about because I have serious FOMO. But anyway, I had to see it and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I wasn't going crazy,
right.
But maybe that's because I've been already seeing some of the stuff on Twitter and it kind of maybe spoiled it a little bit. But anyway, today on this episode, we're going to kind of get into a few different things. We want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as you can tell, it's probably what the segment of this show is going to be.
Absolutely.
On episode 2 is going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's really what we're going to focus on, and we're going to get our accounts of different things that we've experienced here. It's, that's kind of going to be the theme of this show, if you haven't guessed, our experiences. And, be looking forward. We're going to have some other guests on. They're going to be talking about their experiences too. But,
absolutely.
For this one, how do you feel? The good, the bad, the ugly? Where you at?
Where you want me to start is the question.
Yeah, you can start wherever,
Of course I can start with the good. I always like to be positive. Well, I mean, we'll do the bad and the ugly first, and then we'll go to the good.
End it with the good.
We'll end it with the good note. You know, because I'm all about positivity. It's just positive times, you know?
Yes.
I'll start with the bad first. I think the bad, as far as my experience with college and you know, being here, I think the bad would probably be, you know, motivation to go to class. That's something that I struggled with personally, just because first starting out, when I was first coming here, you know, it was a lot of morning classes, afternoon, and then you end at like maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it's just like you go back to your dorm and you're like completely drained. You don't want to play the game. You don't want to watch TV. You're just tired. You want to go to sleep. And then that next day you got to repeat the same cycle. Or, you know, if you have a different type of schedule that next day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you got to go 9 a.m. to 2. And then Tuesday, Thursday, you just have a 12 o'clock and a 1 o'clock. You always looking forward to that Tuesday, Thursday class. So it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get up and go to class today.
Yeah.
But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're like, oh, I got to get up early. You know, I got to go to sleep at this time. Sometimes you don't go to sleep at a certain time, so you're just like up. Like it sucked, and you know. But there were some days, I won't lie, there were some days where I just did not go to class, and I would sometimes make excuses like, oh, I'm feeling sick, or oh, I gotta do this with my car. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was thinking off the top of my head. But I mean, most of the time I did go just because I knew what I was here for.
Right.
I knew what my purpose was. So I was like, okay, you know, 1-2 days, you know, maybe 3 days, take a mental break, you know, stay home, stay in your dorm, wherever you live. Just, you know, relax, have a day to yourself. But you still got to get back on the roll. Like, you still got to do your homework. You still got to, you know, take those tests. You know, you still got to have some type of good attendance. Don't miss 12 days straight for mental purposes, because that you just abusing it at that point. But you know,
not even just abusing it, but you've probably missed most of the class, and you've missed assignments, you've missed out on different things, or you know, you just don't have that motivation anymore. It's and like,
I think one specific class I can say don't miss class for is if you're first coming in and you got to do your basics. So that means like math, English. I don't know what other, you know, it depends on your degree, of course. But for me, I had to be in my math class. I literally had to be in my math class. And that was more towards the end of the day. So it was probably like my last class of that day. So it was kind of like, I think I only missed maybe 2 days for that whole semester as far as that class. And I wasn't really worried about it because I knew it was in the afternoon and I had like a little break in between classes. So it was like, okay, I could go home, take a break, sleep, take a nap, whatever, eat, and then come back out rejuvenated and ready to want to go to class.
Right.
And then once you get out of the class, it's just like, okay, I got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. But at the same time, it's like, you still have that thought in the back of your mind, like, oh shit, like, I didn't mean to cuss, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh shoot, you know, you gotta do the homework that she assigned, or you know, you gotta look at this review because you have a test in like the next couple weeks, and math is not easy. Let me just say that now.
No, for sure.
Math is not an easy class, but if you practice it enough and keep yourself motivated to want to do it, then it becomes, you know, a lot more easier for you, and then, you know, you're gonna want to actually do it.
Yeah.
I struggled through that class, but I made a C+. So you know.
Hey, you made it. My freshman and sophomore year, probably my first semester of my junior year, I don't think I missed a single day of class. I think I was too scared to miss class. Like, I'm telling you, my experience coming back to TSU after taking that long break off, it was like, oh my God, I have to grind my behind off. Yeah. I can't do anything wrong. I have to do everything to the best of my abilities. If I don't, then you know, something's bad's gonna happen, or I'm not gonna be able to ascend to the greatest heights. I was all over the place in my mind. Right. I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself.
Oh my God.
Do not put that much pressure on yourself.
No.
Do not put that much pressure, because honestly, it became overwhelming. But I think it kind of paid off at the end. Yeah. It kind of paid off at the end.
Yeah.
Because, you know, now I feel like I'm in a much better place, and so maybe some pressure is okay. But for me, I didn't want to take days off. I didn't want to miss class. I was so locked in. I just wanted to be there all the time. And I knew that everybody wasn't like that. And I had a lot of freedom to be able to be completely locked into school. I know not everybody has that luxury where they can just be like, oh, I'm all in on school. Because they have so many other priorities. And I know mental health is a big thing for sure. But I think for me, that 5 years of just being put into life and having to kind of grow up a little bit, it toughened me up a lot and made it to where I could probably withstand a little bit more and have a little bit more of a mental fortitude. So I'm going to say that about that. But definitely this last year and the pandemic and having online class, I was not in it. That is for sure. Yeah. It's been a challenge. Definitely last semester and the semester before that, right when the pandemic had started, it started to become pretty hard to be motivated all the time to do exactly what I needed to do. Because I tell you what, when I tell you that I've been pushing myself so hard, and then it's kind of started to fizzle, and then I started to realize, oh, I really need to focus on myself, and I can't focus on everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh man,
and that's the hardest part, because I think us as people, our minds wander a lot, and it puts us in the mind frame to want to compare ourselves to somebody else. Yeah. Like, for example, I do a lot of content creation. So like Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, photography, all that stuff. And for me, my mindset is I want to be different. Now, as far as the stuff that I see, like people that I follow to get inspiration, or people my age that are doing the same thing, it's almost like, well, how come when they do it, they get this response, but when I do it, I get this? And then you just start to compare yourself to them.
Yeah, it's such a toxic mindset.
It's just automatic. Like, I feel like, and I don't know if this is everybody, but I know for me, I get in my own head, and then I'm stuck there just thinking about, why can't I do this? Or what do I need to do to get like that? Like, and it's just like, you can't put yourself in that situation, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna be like everybody else. It's about you. Like, you're in a battle with yourself, basically. So you have to want to be better than yourself. Our enemy is ourselves, basically. But our mind just makes us think like, oh no, you have to be like that, otherwise you're not gonna be good. But it's just like, everybody has their own path. So it's like, why rush? Trying to be great, or trying to be, oh, I got 1.5 million followers. No, who cares? Like, get what you can. And
that's a lot of society now.
Just practice, like, get better.
So what's your ugly? You've given us your bad. What's your ugly?
So my ugly for, this year, I would have to say it had to do with school again, of course, but it was more of on a deeper level, as far as, me getting ready to finish and graduation and, credits and everything like that. I recently had an issue, what was the name that I gave it? We'll just say person A. We'll say person A.
Yep.
So
person A, we're going to be referring to person A a whole lot.
So person A, they had been helping me. Well, let me backtrack, okay? So I didn't have a person to help me, figure out what classes I needed to take in order to graduate.
Right.
So I had been calling, asking, doggone begging to get some type of help, because I feel like if you're a student at school or in college or, whatever you got going on, you're going to need some type of help. But you need professional help as far as like your classes and, finishing.
Right. And yours is a little bit different because you changed majors, right?
Right. So
right. Yeah.
First transferring in, before I even got here, I was at another school and I was under art major. So that had a lot to do with the photography, the music, the, all that good stuff, all the graphic design and everything like that.
Right.
So me not thinking about it, I had to remember that every school's program is different. Mm-hmm. So from where I was in Tyler to here, it wasn't the same, concept, I guess you could say. Over there was art, but down here they call it radio, television, and film. So switching from that to this, it was like I automatically thought like, oh, well, when I go down here, it'll be the same thing. No, that was the total disappointment about it.
No.
So when I had realized I was still under art, I was like, that's not right, because I haven't taken a photography class and I need to know why. So I had to go do, research, trying to find this person, trying to talk to this person. Then I finally got somebody and he explained to me, well, that's not under, what you're trying to do. So let me help you, direct you in the right direction. He's super cool, super nice guy. And that was before I got to person A. He told me, okay, you got to get this sign and they'll switch your major over. I said, okay, cool. Thank you so much. You helped me out a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Right. I appreciate you. So after all of that, I eventually got to person A. Person A said, okay, you need to take this, this, and this, and, you'll graduate this year, but in this semester. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, that's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but, I'm ready.
Right.
So I did everything that I was supposed to do. I took every class that I was supposed to do, the amount of classes that I was supposed to take. Even if I did miss a couple, like I would go back and add them to my list.
Right.
And I would, be on the right track.
Right.
So, of course, here comes this semester and I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to be chilling. I'm taking, 2 classes that don't require me to be in class. So I'm chilling. Like I don't got to go nowhere. Like once I'm done, I'm getting out of here.
Exactly.
I'm packing it up and I'm gone. Right. So I applied for graduation and, the person that ran the meeting told me or told everybody that was in the meeting, oh, okay, make sure you got this, this, and this, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, cool. Let me go back and check. I go and look. I don't have all my credits because before it was like, that circle, it's almost complete.
Right.
But when I looked, it was like it had went back a little bit. I'm like, hold on, bro.
So for people that don't know,
yeah,
Texas Southern University uses a program called Degree Works to track your progress.
Right.
And so in that progress, it has this little circle with the completion percentage on it.
Right.
And so the more credits you do, the more classes you take and pass, it'll increase. And so by the time you're in your second semester, being a sophomore or senior, getting ready to graduate, it should be around 95% to 98%. Mm-hmm. If it's around that range, you should be good. You should be able 15 to 10 credits and you should be out of here.
Right. So when I looked at that, it said 97. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is what I was, expecting. I'm about to get out of here.
Right.
I go back, it says 91. I'm like, okay, maybe they didn't add, the courses that I took last semester. Maybe they need to update Degree Works. So again, I go and have a conversation with the person that ran the meeting. they told me, oh, make sure, this and this is done. And, can you send me your degree works? I'm like, okay, cool. I can do that. That's easy because I know y'all know the requirements and what we need.
Right.
So they emailed me back. Oh, you're not going to be able to graduate because you still have 23 credits. Well, what are you talking about? Because I was told just like last year that I'd be done by now. And they're like, well, did you talk to person A? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, he's the one that told me.
They always ask, have you talked to person A? They always ask that. And every time you say yeah, or that you've been over there, then it's like, okay, I guess we can help you now. And it's like, why does it have to be that? You already know that we done went to person A, and you know that person A didn't do anything.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
And exactly. That's exactly why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. Person A explained to me that once you do this, this, and this, and you take this 2 classes left, you're good. You're graduating. I said, okay, cool. My mom went right behind me. I didn't know my mom called, but she was excited for me because I'm about to graduate college. Like, this is a big step for her, at least. So she wanted to make sure. Told her the same thing. I'm like, all right. I go and have a conversation with him. I said, this is what happened. I was told this. Now my credits are saying this, and I don't understand why. Can you help me? Well, I told you that, you had to take this, this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, no. That's not what we're going to do. We're not going to lie right here.
Right.
And I had to, be stern, but also respectful at the same time, because I know, doing that kind of stuff is a lot. You have a lot of, students that you have to take care of. I get it. I 100% get it. But when it comes to finishing and then being at that last mark, and then
don't pretend.
Right. And then you're told, oh, you can't. That hurts. That crushes a person's soul. And I was crushed. I was so mad. I mean, I was really angry, but, I had to bring it back a little bit and try to figure it out before I got upset.
Right.
So once everything was explained to me, I was still frustrated because it's like, well, I was told otherwise. And then you told my mom the same thing. So why is it all of a sudden you're lying now? And, it was a back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And then he explained everything to me again. I understood it, but I didn't understand why. So I had to let my mom know because I had been telling everybody in my family, hey, I'm graduating, blah, 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 this time. Like, it's on a Saturday, all that.
It's so right. That's one of the toughest things because this meeting that we have is a graduation meeting. Mm-hmm. And literally the day of the graduation meeting is the day that you should apply for graduation. And that's also like the last day you have to get all of your changes in. So if you have issues with trying to apply for graduation, or if they contact you and they're like, there's an issue with your credits, you literally only have that one day to try and get everything together before the graduation application closes.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. That they give you so little time to get on top of these things. But let's try and go to the good. Let's try and get something nice in here.
Right.
Because that's just terrible. How you doing, my man?
And I can't say it was all bad. Towards the end of the conversation and everything like that, it was figured out. We're on track now. So whatever I have that's left, I know what I need to take. I'm going to write it down, have it on a piece of paper so I know just in case, oh, you're not graduating again. Well, this is what you gave me. So I need to understand now, again, why.
Right.
But, for me at least, I had to take it with a grain of salt, unfortunately. And I had to understand that, okay, I'll be graduating in the fall. As long as I graduate, I need to graduate.
So is that your good?
No. So the good, that's part of the good, but the actual good I was going to say about being here and, about going to school here is I've made a lot of different bonds, a lot of relationships, even with professors as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's the good part about it is that you build these relationships and these establishments with people, and you start to figure out who's actually genuine and who's actually, you know, wanting to be helpful. I had a class last semester for the I cannot think of the name of it. It was an internship to get into the internship program. And man, this guy was just like to the T, on point, like just a cool individual. Like even outside of school, he was still willing to take calls, emails, anything.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this professor, he's kind of just awesome. He does everything. He's over the internships, and he really just keeps trying to keep people locked in and connected and have them doing as much as they can and always just being there for them. Because, you know, not all the faculty are there for the students. That's actually in my ugly. In my ugly.
Let's talk about it. I
actually have a few things in my ugly. No, honestly though, because it's like not all the professors are there to be there for you. They there to collect a check. Yeah. They there to be able to utilize some facilities and do what they want to do and try and make some career that's maybe not even going to happen. Instead of trying to focus on us here who actually are trying to break into the industry.
Yeah.
You know, they're too worried about all the things that they have going on. Right. And I understand that, you know, people have things going on in their lives.
100%.
But we pay to be here and they get paid to be here. So I don't understand, why is it so difficult for me who pays thousands of dollars every year?
Every year. Not once, not twice, but every year
to get what I need. It doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. And not only that, then you'll have these other professors that they just all lip service. It's like some of them don't do anything, and then other ones say they'll do something and still don't do anything.
Right.
It's like, how does that work? How does that work?
It just don't add up, bro.
It's like they feed you these dreams, and they feed you things that are going to inspire you and motivate you for sure. But then when it actually comes to trying to help the students and actually showing them and teaching them and trying to actually facilitate certain things, they're just not there. When you really need some help to try and compose something. Like there was one time we were trying to do this show. We have no experience doing shows at all. Like trying to put things together and spaces to put things together, you know, call times and setting up audio equipment and video camera equipment. It's like, yeah, we can do it to an extent, but we don't necessarily know good workflows to do it.
Right.
Or, you know, we've never been in professional environments to know what's going to be the best way to kind of do things and what should we be preparing ourselves for going forward. No one was there except for one person, and that person doesn't. When they're in the zone, they don't teach; they just do, and it just becomes this thing where no one's really learning.
Yeah, it's just kind of like they're just there doing their job so they can go home, and it's just like, yes, I get it. You don't want to come to work every day, but this is a job you chose. Your job is to teach, you know, adults, because we're all adults here, but your goal is to, at the end of the day, give people an understanding of what the class is about. If you're not doing that, there's no way that somebody can go out in this world, try to have a job that you're trying to teach them about and succeed. Because then at that point, they have to learn everything all over again on their own. And it's just like, well, what was the point of even going to school if I didn't learn what I was supposed to learn? You know, I think that's just not fair at the end of the day. Like,
honestly, that kind of brings me to my bad. In my bad, I just think there's a lack of faculty altogether. There's a lack of money. There's a lack of faculty.
Yes.
there's a lot of classes that we need to be taking. There's some classes that we offer, and some of the faculty that are teaching them do not need to be teaching them because they're not qualified to teach. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Absolutely.
Some of y'all are not qualified to be teaching these courses, and you don't need to be. And I'm gonna keep it real, because I've had to sit in some of these classrooms, and I've had to endure watching countless video after video after video when someone should really just be teaching me this stuff. They making me sit here and watch an Adobe tutorial that is free. It's free. They making me watch this Adobe tutorial that I paid this class for to try and teach me how to use After Effects.
Right.
It's like, what is happening here? Why?
I'm telling you, I've felt like this since day one, since high school. These people get these jobs trying to make a quick buck and don't be one to actually teach. And it's just like, what can I learn from that? What am I going to gain? What knowledge is going to be stuck in my mind that's going to allow me to take what I've heard, seen, learned, and use in the real world?
Exactly.
It's like
I don't come to college to take hands-on courses to have someone tell me to sit down and watch a video constantly,
right?
And try and follow along with the video. It's like, no, get up there, put together a lesson plan, put together some projects, show me what we're supposed to be doing. Let's go get some footage. Let's open up these programs. Teach me how to use these programs. It's like, come on, the curriculum here is just not what it needs to be. Honestly, I mean, because I'm coming from when I went to Ithaca College, is so much more accelerated. Your freshman year, you're thrust right into the mix.
Yeah.
They want you to start working right away.
Right.
Like, so they're like, here are the basic skills and tools that you need. Go do. Freshman year, first semester. Here, you got to do so much theoretical stuff, much book stuff. It's like, why are we doing so much book stuff? It's like, I'm a radio, television, and film major. How does any of this really apply to what I need going into the job field?
And see, my thing on that, as far as book stuff, some of that stuff we don't need. Like, even with the physical book, I feel like we don't actually need the physical book because we're taking, I mean, other than us taking the test, like, for our major, why? What test do we need to take in order to learn this kind of stuff?
Just give us more on-the-job training. Just give us more on-the-job stuff. That's how you learn on the job.
Hands-on, really.
Because why do we need to take 5 different prerequisites before I can even take a documentary production class? That doesn't make sense.
Don't even get me started on prerequisites.
Well, why do I need to? No, okay, so that's kind of fair. Having a few prerequisites for the documentary production. Why do I have to take 3 prereqs before I can take a editing class? That doesn't make sense at all.
I 100% agree.
You need to be taking editing day 1.
Yes.
If you're an RTF major, editing day 1.
Absolutely.
But I can understand you're a broadcast journalism major. If you're a comm major, then you may not need to have those things day 1. Mm-hmm. But they need to think about these programs in different ways. ERM as well. And ERM, I know ERM is the what is that? Electronic recording of media, or it's something. Remember. It's like sound recording and like board audio stuff and music and A&R, all those different things. Mm-hmm. They lack so much faculty. So much funding, and all the things that we need, we don't have. It's like, what's going on?
I'm telling you, man, that's the sucky part about it, is just not having what you need to gain the experience that you want.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's a lot of why people don't think college is for them. Like, I feel like a lot of people just have that mindset of, well, I didn't, like I said, you didn't gain anything, so why am I here? Why am I going to school? I could be doing this on my own, or YouTube it. You can YouTube anything nowadays. And it's crazy how much you can learn from a video that somebody put together in about 10, 15 minutes.
Bro, when the pandemic started, so when I started here, they teach you how to edit on Final Cut Pro.
Right.
I didn't know how to video edit before that.
Really?
But really, that was my first time video editing was in that course on Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
And once the pandemic started, I couldn't use Final Cut Pro anymore because I don't have no Mac. If you don't know, Final Cut Pro is Apple Mac exclusive. And I have a PC. And I have a laptop as PC. And what can I do?
Right.
I was like, I got to try and do something. I got to turn in these assignments because school didn't stop when the pandemic started.
Absolutely
and they still wanted you to turn in these short documentaries. And it's like, well, bro, I don't have a camera, and I don't have anything to edit on. And so it was like, you got to learn real quick. And so YouTube was my go-to to learn Adobe Premiere. And so if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have had to learn Adobe. But I had to teach myself Premiere. And this, obviously it's pretty easy going from one program to the other because all the functions are kind of the same.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was a lot because at that time I was still a novice in editing. And then I was thrust into the position where I had to teach myself how to learn something else. Literally. And that's crazy.
And just to, kind of add on to what you're saying, for me, before I even got here, I think I was, I didn't have a MacBook. I had a PC. The problem with the PC was it was an older PC, so it didn't run as fast as I needed it to.
Oof. That's the worst, especially with editing.
Oh my gosh.
Rendering times.
I mean,
what are you gonna do? You can't export anything.
It was just awful. So I had to go to my dad and say, hey, you got a MacBook, can I borrow it? So I ended up using his MacBook. And from that point, so this was when I had first started doing photography, doing a lot of editing. Like I even made a video for my brother, he was trying to start up his little car wash thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I got you. Like I went to his house, recorded it. We were there for probably like 30 minutes. I asked my dad for the laptop, did my editing, and I put it together. And from that point on, that was all I was using to edit. Right. Then when I get here, it's like, oh, well, you got to use this and you got to use it. And I'm like, I've never even heard of these things before. What are you telling me right now? Like this is gibberish. I don't know what this means. Like,
yeah,
I got iMovie. I know how to use that.
Right?
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But they throw all these things at you and they're like, you don't know about that? I'm like, no. I didn't learn it. I never learned it. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm telling you, iMovie was everything I needed at that time. Even before the pandemic, before I got to TSU, iMovie was just my go-to to edit anything. So,
but I guess back to the original point, that's what's so great about YouTube is it can teach you just about anything.
Absolutely. It teach you how to tie your shoes, how to make some eggs. You know what I mean?
Actually, I do have one more thing in my bag.
Okay.
The one other thing is I don't understand exactly how financial aid works here or scholarships work here, but they need to do something about that.
I think it needs to be just a little tad bit more organized, and I think they need to find people that actually want to do their job.
But TSU is not the only place with this issue.
It's all over.
Everywhere.
It's all over.
This is everywhere. This is what I don't understand. I would say I'm a pretty good student. I've maintained a 3.96 GPA the entire time I've been here. When I transferred over from HCC with a 4.0. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get no scholarship. Every year since then, I've been applying for a scholarship with this GPA, doing other extracurriculars, still no scholarship, no help. And so it's like, man, I'm really having to pay out of pocket. And I'm doing better than half the people that have scholarships. It's like, I don't really understand this. Some people getting full rides and are averaging a C.
And that's crazy.
It just didn't feel.
And I think people, they get in that mindset of like, well, I got a scholarship. I really don't have to worry about my grade. Yeah, you do. That will be gone in a heartbeat. That instantly. Like you could lose that scholarship just by getting a C minus, C plus, and it's just like, how do you go into school, college alone with the mindset of, oh, I got a full ride, so let me just slack off a little bit? No. That's the whole point of you getting a scholarship is because you had such a high GPA and you put in the work to get where you're trying to go and get the scholarship. But then you get it and it's just like you want to slack off. Why?
Doesn't make sense.
You don't deserve the scholarship at that point. So
I will say I finally did get a scholarship for my last semester. A little bit is a little something. You know, when I say a little something, I mean really a little bit.
Anything is better than nothing.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that.
Anything's better.
And I was like, thank goodness, finally I can give my parents a break because that's really who was really taking it on the chest, on the chin, was my parents. I love you. Just letting you know. But you know what I'm saying. But my good, because there's a lot of good that did come out of this experience. And I guarantee you I would not be where I am right now if it was not for this experience. And if it wasn't for the people that I've met, I learned to put myself out there a whole lot more. I was able to figure out that I can talk myself into almost anything. I can talk myself into an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And being here and trying to, having that ambition to get started in something. And I had set goals for myself. I was like, my freshman year, I was like, I really have to get into something. And so I went into Comm Week, my first time going in Comm Week, and Professor Val was there and KTSU-2 was just launching. And I put myself out there. I was like, hey, how do I get involved with this? How do I put my hands on this equipment? And then Professor Val was there, and I was like, Professor Val, what do I need to do?
Right.
And that's how everything just started. And then from there on, it's just constantly just putting myself out there. Almost never saying no.
I have to tell you, Professor Val, that's a great professor for sure, man. She being in her class for the first time last semester really brought a lot home for me, just because she reminded me a lot about my mom, not only because she's older than me and she's got a lot more experience, but because she pushed me to the point where it's just like a switch clicked for me. So it's kind of like when she pushed me, it was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get going. Like I'm about to do this, this, and this. And then one thing I remember her telling us, as far as that class, is she was telling us that, go out and explore the world. Like, don't be stuck in one spot and don't be stuck in the mud because that's what you feel is safe. Go out, experience new things, challenge yourself, don't be afraid. And that's one thing for me is I've always been afraid to just do things. But, from that point to now, it's grown on to me more, and I've been able to do different things and try different things that I've never done before. I've always been a closed shell, but over the years, that shell just expanded and it broke finally.
Right.
So now I'm over here, doing a podcast, trying, different edits for my pictures. It's just like, where is this coming from?
Well, it's because there's those people that do really inspire you. Yeah. And that's what I owe a lot of that to TSU. Mm-hmm. And so I tried to challenge myself a lot here. And they let me challenge myself a lot here sometimes. Right. And so I really do appreciate those things. I was able to add so many tools to my toolbox and just get better and learn more. Like I said, I put myself out there, and that really paid off when I was able to go into certain environments and say, I want this, I want to be here, I want to absorb as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And kind of hounding people to make them come on this journey with me.
Yes.
And really showing people my passion, that really helped a lot.
And so, just to piggyback, I think with the whole college thing, me talking to Professor Val, having my mom in my corner, meeting you, just a lot of people that I've met. And then, the things that I'm doing now, with Twitch, I've developed a lot of great relationships, not only in Twitch, but, here too, you know, people say you meet a lot of different people. People come and go, but I've figured out how to maneuver around people who really aren't gonna stick, and I just kind of back off. And then, you know, with the people that I've met online, you know, we have these discords, and it's almost like I've known these people for 10, 12 years, and I've only known them for maybe a month.
And that's Twitch, and going into the communities in Twitch and Discord servers is a whole other conversation.
Absolutely.
And you start to get real cozy, and it's like, I've known these people for a whole lifetime. But no, anyway. But honestly, we're kind of at the end of our show here.
Yeah, I mean,
we've been going for a little bit. Yeah, you know,
absolutely.
I guess to kind of try and wrap up on everything we've been talking about, and kind of ended it off on the good for sure.
Yeah.
Going to TSU, and going to a HBCU has been, and I said this in the first episode, has been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
100%.
And I'm so glad that I was able to experience this and be around people that look like me and learn so much about my culture and my people and people that came before me and what they went through in their endeavors and literally just all the obstacles that they've had to endure.
Right.
And it just made me feel so much better, and it gave me so much courage and so much strength to try and be the best that I can be and conquer these spaces.
Right.
And so I love so much that I went to Texas Southern University. As many issues that I've had since I've been here, I can definitely say that now I can say for sure that this experience has definitely paid off.
Yeah.
And even if I wasn't able to get into the spaces that I was really desiring to get into, I definitely feel like this has made me 10 times a better person.
Yeah.
And so
absolutely,
I really do appreciate that I have finally made it.
You made it, you know?
Yes.
So I like I said, like you just said, greatest experience I've ever had. You know, it changed my life for the better. You know, I've matured in different ways I never thought I would, and I grew up basically. So, you know, college, HBCU alone, Texas Southern alone. You know, it's just been a great experience for me. So
for sure. I guess that's gonna do it for us.
I guess that's it.
Make sure you follow us at KTSU_2, and you can follow me at Ashley G the Supreme. Where can they follow you at, my man?
I got a lot of social medias, but just to give y'all a few, you can follow me on Instagram at Captain_Mac23. I have a photography page. It's Max_View23. And then I have a Twitter. It's at Big A Train 23. Don't ask me why that was 23 all the time. I just
23.
You know what I mean? You know, it's LeBron, Jordan. You know, it's just greatness.
Exactly. Just greatness.
You know what I mean?
Greatness.
Absolutely.
No, I got you, man. Make sure to tune in every Thursday at 5:00. That's when this show does drop.
Absolutely.
And you can find the link in the KTSU2 Instagram bio. Just click right on that, and it'll take you right to the radio stream. So you can tune in live Thursday at 5:00, and you can also find us at YouTube for the full-length show and the video. And you can tune in on Instagram for a short little clip, and we'll throw you a little bit of our highlights. But that's really going to be it, you know?
That's all we got today, y'all.
Such a good show. I really do appreciate everybody and appreciate everybody for listening. This is I Finally Made It on KTSU2, The Voice.